Okay, no intro this time. No reason other than let's just cut to the chase and let's just get into my spoiler talk. This is gonna be my spoiler review, not really a review, but just my thoughts, mainly on a few things, but a huge thing that happens in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania I'd like to really talk about. So if you haven't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, I do highly, not only is it in the title, but spoiler warning, huge spoilers. And if you want to know my full thoughts on Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania without the spoilers, you can go check that out on my channel, or I'll have maybe the link in the description of that review. It'll be up somewhere. I might start doing annotations again. I haven't done annotations in a while, but I'm gonna maybe do those. We'll see. But still, you can find them everywhere. I'll have all the options, basically. So, I really gave a lot of praise to Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror. I think he's great. I think he's awesome. My only huge thing with him is that he's dead. He's dead by the end of the movie. And so his big plan is he has his Kang chair, his time traveling chair. And he needs an energy thing, and he has Ant-Man go grab the energy orb, or the energy thing, to restore his chair, his time chair, his Metron chair, so that way he can go to any time, any universe he needs to and he desires to, so he can escape the quantum realm, because he was banished by the Council of Kangs. He even mentions that the council banished him and exiled him. So if he escapes, he can at least destroy and get revenge and stop the Council of Kangs from any multiversal incursions or any multiversal wars that they may stir up and start. And as he's on the brink of having this plan, and honestly, quite frankly, I forgot to mention that this in my review, my non-spoiler review, is that his ideology, his whole ordeal does justify the means and means to justify. Not that you could basically say that, oh, you can totally agree with him, because if you agree with a villain, it's kind of weird, but you can kind of see a little where he's coming from. He was banished. He had to become who he became in the quantum realm, because it's not confirmed or really mentioned in the film, but I guess in certain images or in certain articles, this version of Kang the Conqueror is Nathaniel Richards, so the descendant of Reed Richards somewhere down the line. And that Nathaniel Richards needed to become Kang the Conqueror in order to basically prevent anything from stopping his big destiny, if you will. He's thwarted by Ant-Man, right? So him and Wasp wind up giving the final blows to Kang, and they send him what looks like vaporizing into his time chair. And I know there's a possibility that Kang might come back, like this version of Kang might come back, or there's gonna be other variants of Kang that will take his place, and that whole thing. But it's just, I'm so mixed on the fact that he dies not only in his debut film. This is a big baddie that the MCU was really having us get on our toes, beware of Kang the Conqueror, he's gonna be everywhere. And he will be with the variants that we will see later on in other MCU projects, but I thought this Kang was gonna be our prime Kang. Or maybe he might return, or maybe we'll see a different variation of this Kang, just not from the quantum realm, maybe in another timeline, maybe in the 41st century, or who knows where and who knows when, maybe disguised as another variant or something. Whatever the case is, just based on what we've seen so far with Kang the Conqueror, he dies. From what it looks like, he dies in this film. And yes, it makes it very impressive that Ant-Man takes on Kang. It kind of shows that, wow, I can kind of be the underdog still, because in my opinion, Scott Lang is a very underrated underdog type superhero type Avenger character. When we think of our favorite Marvel characters, we think of Iron Man, Spider-Man, Hulk, Thor, Captain America, the core Avengers, and maybe some others like X-Men and stuff like that. Ant-Man, specifically Scott Lang, is the one that's the underdog. So yeah, I give it credit. It's impressive that he does it, but it's very underwhelming. How they punch him a bit, Wasp is zapping him, he's getting hit a bit. Granted, his suit's torn up, it's destroyed. I like that, because then it gets brutal. There's a brief moment during the fight between just Ant-Man and Kang that's really epic. I love that. The two of them just giving blow after blow after blow, and it really shows that Jonathan Majors kind of got bulked a bit for not only for Creed, but definitely for this film, because he really gave him a nice jab or two, a nice good gut punch to Paul Rudd. And it shows that he's massive compared to Paul Rudd. So I like the odds of this, and just the big, you could feel the anger with each punch, kick, stomp, and grab and throw Kang throws at Ant-Man. This is the fight I wanted. This is the scene, and this is how I wanted the movie to be. A lot darker and get brutal, because Ant-Man's getting a little bloody a bit, and even Ant-Man is almost willing to sacrifice himself and say, you know what, I don't have to win, we just both have to lose. And I think that would have been a little more perfect if they had both Kang and Ant-Man maybe die in this film. I think that would have evened things out, made things a lot more interesting, because then going forward, no one else knows how to defeat Kang, and the only person that was able to defeat Kang is Scott Lang, and now he's dead. So I think that would have been more intriguing, and it would have gave Scott Lang a better character arc. But maybe there'll be something else going forward, and granted, the Avengers could use someone that has fought Kang if they're going to face Kang in the Kang Dynasty, if Kang's coming back, like the Kang we saw in this film. Again, I'm torn. Yet it does make sense, because the Kang Dynasty is building up to a dynasty of Kangs. Literally, one of the post-credit scenes is we see the Council of Kangs. We see what looks like Ramatut, who's a variant of Kang. We see the Scarlet Centurion, or a different Kang variant. And we see Immortus, who's another variant of Kang. All these Kangs kind of hey, we got rid of that son of a bitch that was exiled, right? And they're kind of a little mad, they're a little beefed that none of these variants of Kang got to kill Kang. So now they're thinking, oh shit, it was the Avengers, and they're going to stop us from our conquering. They have a whole slew, they show the whole Council of Kangs getting ready and getting prepped and hyped that we're coming to war, and the multiversal war is happening, and we're gonna literally see a dynasty of Kangs. Which makes sense, that since it's not going to be Nathaniel Richards Kang or a specific Kang, it's going to be at least a whole army, a dynasty. So I guess that makes sense. That's what they're maybe building up. But yet, I always felt that maybe we were going to get that in Secret Wars, that Kang would be our main Kang, and then maybe towards the end of the film, we would get an army of Kangs, or maybe there'll be multiple Kangs, whether they're allied with Nathaniel Richards or not. We'd still be getting a whole slew of Kangs, and the Avengers would be not ready for this, and that would maybe prep us for Secret Wars, because Secret Wars is where almost everything all breaks loose and all hell happens, and that would be probably a lot more perfect in my opinion. Like I said, it's justified, but it's not justified that Kang is dead. I know he might return, but who knows? That was the major, huge gripe I had with the film, was Kang being killed in his first debut film. And this, we get this great introduction, and this is how you you off him. But who knows? There is that other after credit scene with Loki, with season 2, and honestly, by God, I think that's gonna be awesome. No matter if whether that's Kang in disguise, or if that's going to be our Kang we're going to see going forward, or how this is going to work, which again, that even adds more questions too, because in the season finale of Loki, we saw a Kang variant was going to run the TVA. So is there a different Kang? Is there another version of Kang that's running the TVA that's different from Nathaniel Richards? Or was that Nathaniel Richards and now he's dead, or he was meant to originally break out of the quantum realm, but he didn't? Maybe there was a different outcome that Kang oversaw and didn't think that Ant-Man was going to kill him, or kill him per se. I don't know. Or maybe this other guy that we see in the after credit scene named Victor Timely shows up, and maybe he might be our TVA head honcho, maybe. Or maybe a different Kang will show up, and we'll get him and Victor Timely in this. I don't quite know, but I do love the after credit scene. I love both these credit scenes, to be honest. It does, at least, no matter how I feel about this film, at least what this has going for me is that I'm very much anticipated for what's next. Like, it might feel a bit underwhelming, this film, and I might still feel mixed maybe after multiple viewings. We'll see. I'm still debating on that. I'll probably still want to watch this to see if my opinion changes or not. However, I'm at least anticipated and curious of what's going to occur going forward with Phase 5 and Phase 6. And Loki Season 2 definitely gives me a nice tease of that. And then the Council of Kangs gives me a nice, excellent tease as well. And one more thing with that after credit scene with Victor Timely, I don't know what it is, but I love that it's set in like what looks like the 1900s, and for whatever reason Loki and Mobius are there. I'm assuming they spot a Kang variant, and Victor Timely is a Kang variant, but I'm really just intrigued of what's going to happen, and I have a feeling that's going to be like our jump to Season 2. Kind of like how the first Ant-Man movie had that post-credits scene for Civil War that literally was the same scene in Civil War with Bucky. I feel like this credit scene is going to do the same thing with Loki Season 2, that we're going to see Victor Timely, we're going to see this whole thing plan out, and what it looks like is he's introducing the invention of time travel or teleportation or something with travel, whether it's multiversal travel or time travel, with his old Victorian era looking invention. And the way he looks, like the costume, I think is amazing, and I don't know if Jonathan Majors is using an accent or not, but it sounds like he is a little bit, just a tiny smidgen. Maybe this is just me, but I love the sort of mixture that like he looks of, like Tesla, Edison, JP Morgan looking costume a little, and the accents very much reminds me of like those, like kind of like those 1900 timey, the way they talked in there, those during those different eras and during that era, and that mix of Monty Python, almost Britishness to it. I don't know. I love it. I'm excited, and at least it has that going for me. So I will at least give the movie that. I will at least give Quantumania that. Although I'm very, again, mixed, at least I can be anticipated of what the Council of Kangs and what other variants of Kangs will show up going forward. But I think that's pretty much my whole spoiler talk. I don't have anything else. I just wanted to break down the whole death with Kang. What do you guys think? How do you feel about Kang's demise in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, if you've seen the film already? Or what is something you want to talk about that is spoiler related, you want to share in the comments section, you want to theorize and say, hey, maybe Victor Timely is Kang, or maybe Victor Timely is He Who Remains, or maybe we'll see a different version of Kang, maybe that wasn't Nathaniel Richards, or maybe we'll get somebody else, or whatever, or maybe there's rumors of whoever else is going to show up in the MCU as a Kang variant, or whatever your thoughts are. Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for watching it. As always, if you liked the video, please smash the like button. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. I do awesome videos every day, if not every week. Make sure you ring that bell. Do new videos every day, every week. Share the video with your family, friends, all the good stuff and more. Leave some suggestions in the comments as well. You name it, I'll look into it as best as possible. You can, like I said, go check out my non-spoiler review and check out all my other reviews and also the other stuff. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. I do a variety of content. I cover movies, TV shows, video games, top 10s, occasional vlogs, and occasional other stuff here and there. So you're more than welcome to stick around and check out the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.